and welcome to the second installment of the Jonesin on a Whim podcast. We are again at the North Estate Studios. I am still Howard North.
Still?
Yeah, it's a persona I living to perfect.
Yeah, it's working well.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's hard work, but and as you hear, my sidekick, or I'm his sidekick. We haven't really. We're equal kicks.
There's a lot of sides.
Yeah, there's kicks all over the place.
It's like a damn dodecahedron around here. Yeah, Stefan.
Yep,
I'm here.
He's here, and we have a special guest that we will reveal later in the show. But we're pleased to have him. He's a big part of what we're trying to accomplish. And that what we're trying to accomplish, we haven't really defined. So,
yeah.
But,
Sounding existential there.
Well, if you've noticed the new wonderful sound quality for the night, we have purchased a wonderful again. That's going to be the word, I guess. Mm-hmm. That defines me at this point. I don't know if we can say the name, Brian. How does that work? Is this the three people that it's down to three now? We saw the results from the first.
It's a free plug for them. Yeah, it's a little snowball microphone.
Is it the blue? Is blue the
blue's like the
vendor? Or
I think it's the brand. But,
the brand.
Well, you may be right. That may be the vendor, and snowball's the brand.
Okay, so either way, it's crappy advertisement.
Yep.
But we vow to be better. Maybe there'll be a future sponsor. If we get to 7 listeners.
One can only hope.
Yes.
It is pretty, though. I like it.
It is. I hope we do it justice.
Mm-hmm.
And we made one big promise last week, and I think we can hold true to it. We actually asked you guys to get back to us. And since no one listened, no one got back to us.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything either.
So we will, in fact, fill in the mistakes or confirm what we were unsure of last week.
Clarify.
And there's a decent list here. It's 18 we actually got to. It was listening back as I was actually one of the 3 people that listened. I don't even know if you listened.
I didn't listen to the whole thing, no.
Yeah, so great. It's not a good sign. But
I got bored. It's like, screw this.
So
what are you guys talking about?
This is there might not be a third. My self-esteem has been crushed.
No, my battery was running down. That's why, yeah.
Good. It's picked up a little.
Yeah.
But we did make several mistakes, and or we just didn't know about several things, and we do want to bring to light not only ourselves but you guys, and it quite honestly it fills a good 2 minutes of a podcast. So, and so correction number 1, drum roll. We need to do that soundboard. We need to get that.
Oh yeah.
That for next week we will have sound effects. Maybe not. It's a holiday weekend, but soon. Tony Parker actually was 29 when I said he was 29. I pulled that straight out of the keister there. But he did turn 30 on the 17th, which I believe is Thursday.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And
I was shocked. I mean, I guess that would mean he's not wearing his age well. If I thought he was in his 30s, or more honestly, probably because he's been performing at such a high level for so long. And it feels like he's got to be in his 30s.
Right, he's been in the league for a while. And his wife, who we stated was closer to my age, it's actually closer to Stefan's age.
Yep.
Another teaser on that, another hint to that. She's 37. And she turned 37 on March 15th. And we did talk about MVP voting, thinking he was probably second or third. He actually finished 5th, behind LeBron, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and then Kobe comes in at 4th. And we obviously touched on Avengers, which gives me a nice segue to introduce our special guest, who won't be a guest as much as a regular participant.
Yeah.
But I called this character from the Iron Man movie, the second one, Black Iron Man. That in fact is not his name or character name. It was played by Don Cheadle, which I believe we knew because I love Don Cheadle, not personally, but as an actor. And his character name is Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes. Rhodey is actually, I believe, what the Iron Man calls him. And so with that, the brownest member of the Jonesin on a whim media empire, I guess is what we've been calling it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mr. Arthur Prather, the second. I'm a junior.
Yeah, the second or junior. It just depends on how mature I want to pretend that I am. So if I want to be really mature, I say the second. And then,
well, I think it's a black thing to not do the junior. They do the seconds and the third. Is that right? You can confirm that now as a black guru.
No, I can confirm as a black person. No, on my ID it says junior, but when you are called junior, then you got the jokes. You got the open door for Junebug and Junebug Spade, and
I never heard. There must be a black thing too, because I never got that. I'm a junior, and
no.
I thought the second was like more, upper crust like.
Well, I thought the second came after you had a third. Like after, what do you do when there's a junior? There's no third,
sub junior.
Right.
Yeah, that may be possible.
After junior,
then they just call you Trey, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's again another.
No, the first. Okay, I found that out through a white person.
All right, I won't.
The first white person I knew that went with that, I was like, "What? Really? That's a thing?"
Yeah.
Guy's name wasn't even Trey at all.
Is that Dwayne?
No.
He's a white guy with
called him Trey.
Stereotypical black name.
Oh, the Reggie Cleveland All Stars.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
But so love that. Glad to have you. It feels a lot better. It feels more right that we're all three here.
More complete.
Doing this. He listened to the first 3 minutes, as it appears most of you did, because only. No one listened to parts after. Just the first part got watched. So we better knock these 15 minutes out, and I think we're
probably up to about 12.
Yeah, I don't even.
Side note: how dare you? It was 7. 7 minutes.
Once we teased,
you start spoiling Avengers.
Teased the Avengers. Well, we hadn't, but he thought we might. So
we got to start somewhere.
Right. So that back to the Avengers. We did open with that because it was a movie we had recently seen, but they have since revealed the villain for the third Iron Man movie. I keep calling it the Iron Man movies, but I guess that kind of pluralizes Robert Downey Jr. More than the movie.
Right. So, even though there were 2 of them in the sequel.
The black one and him.
Yes, as previously mentioned.
The Rhodey character. But he is the actor playing this role, which is Eric Savin, as his name before he becomes the cyborg Cold-Blood, is James Badge Dale, and I will refer to Stefan for detailing this guy because I really, his face looks familiar, but the name doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, he was in The Departed, and I can't remember him from that. And he's been on like 24 and a couple other shows, but nothing that made him really stick out to me. And you'd think with a name like Badge Dale that he would, because that's just strange.
Is he
2-word last
name? Is he English or
he was born in New York City,
so he could be English.
Yeah, that's quite possible. Let's say birth name James Badge Dale.
Because he was in the Pacific, and I did watch that. That was that miniseries on HBO, which was actually pretty good. It wasn't Band of Brothers good, but it was good. It was a nice follow-up.
Actually, I think this guy actually was in Band of Brothers.
Was he? That makes sense. I think
they said the Pacific and
they carried it. I think they carried over a lot of actors.
Yeah,
from those 2. Maybe it seems like they would.
Yeah, maybe that was somebody else's Band of Brothers, but yeah, he's relatively new on the scene, as far as movies go. So, and he's younger than my little sister. So.
Right. Well, do we know anything about this Cold-Blood character? No.
Nothing.
Well, that'll be next.
I know nothing.
That's the list for next time. Which we need to kill those first 3 minutes, which has now already been 3 minutes. We should shoot. We can jump through these pretty quickly. So get your pens and paper ready. I know you were waiting for these answers. The studio that actually released The Dark Knight, there were 3 separate studios: Legendary Pictures, Syncopy Films, as well as DC Comics, which I think we assume that.
I think it's pronounced syncope.
Whatever.
Hey, it's radio.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Pronunciation matters.
Yeah, well. It just makes sense that it would be Sen because of the Dark movie. I don't know. Dark Knight, whatever. Speaking of superhero movies,
I'm a pronunciation Nazi.
Yeah, no, I know that's. We all have our downfalls. So, and then the Spider-Man movie, in the trailer, it looked like the spider spit in his face. It really didn't look like that. It actually looks like a web explodes into his face. He's in a lab looking into a microscope, and it looks like that web pierces his neck, and then boom, he's got web wielding, I guess, abilities. And
so I guess getting bit just wasn't dramatic enough.
Right. Yeah, like that first one. Yeah.
To make everyone fear a chemistry lab. Now.
Yeah. Well,
or bio lab. I guess would be more appropriate.
We're supposed to promote the education, but I guess they're going the other way with that. And we wondering about the Paul George player. He did in fact play in San Antonio before Indy. The Pacers coach is Frank Vogel.
Of course.
And right. Well coached, but maybe not so much in the last quarter tonight or today. I mentioned Doug Collins retired 17 times. Clearly an exaggeration, but he actually retired only 3 times, and a couple of those he was fired. And then the onto the Clippers. When we talked about the Clippers Spurs, I mentioned a forward that was dominating the boards and down low. It was not the Florida State player. It was Reggie Evans, who he didn't dominate as much on the stat board as much as I remembered. I mean, as much as it seemed to me. But he did have 10 rebounds in 19 minutes, and the best plus-minus points. What do they call that in hockey? The
plus-minus.
Right. Okay.
All right.
His was up.
No charge.
Right. I know I didn't pronounce it wrong, but I just didn't know.
Right. Plus-minus. I do like that they've introduced that stat in the NBA, because a guy scores 25 points, Sharif Abdur-Rahim style, but they still suck.
Right. And his was actually plus 18, which was the best for anyone in that game. So maybe he did. That justifies what I thought I saw. And he did not go to Florida State. He actually went to Iowa. But the Florida State forward that I was thinking of, who did play for the Clippers, doesn't anymore, is Al Thornton. But he was traded to the Wizards in 2010. In that big 3-team deal, 6 players with Jameson, Drew
there
Gooden.
He languishes.
Yeah. So
where's Drew Gooden right now? Milwaukee?
Uh-oh.
I think it's Milwaukee.
Is he in Milwaukee?
We can add to the list there.
Yeah. We got one for next week now. This is why we have like 18 things to go through this week, is because we kept saying, man, where's that guy?
Yeah. And Reggie Evans looks like Al Thornton. He doesn't, but when Al Thornton is actually playing in nowhere near America. So he's not even in the league anymore.
That makes sense.
But honestly, a team overseas is better than playing for the Wizards right now. So
I agree with that.
I don't blame them there. And get the Drew Gooden?
Yeah, he's on the Bucks.
Look at that.
All right, see? That's why we brought him on, folks. He's a NBA
he's a
guru.
good free throw shooter, 85%.
Wow, because he only attempted 7? As much as our listeners, or is it more?
Was it
probably more?
It probably wasn't 85 out of 100. Let's see. They won't tell me.
Oh, well, it's Drew Gooden.
That one's not that important.
Yeah, 7 is fine. We'll go with that. We also talked about Oklahoma City. I went on a business trip. The area downtown with all the restaurants and the entertainment is actually called Bricktown. I had to be right. I don't even remember what I called it, but it wasn't that. And I did mention also that the Thunder dominated the Lakers in the regular season, and they did. They did win by 15-9 in the regular season. In the final game, they did lose, but it was a double overtime game, and that was the one when Harden got knocked out in the first quarter or second quarter.
Yeah, by
so
he who will not be named.
Right.
Well, we will.
Meta World War.